Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. Mastering Modern Pandas, Episode 1 of 8. You pull two columns of financial data, add them together, and the final sum makes no sense. The rows shifted, and you just added yesterday's closing price to today's volume. That happens when you treat data like a dumb grid instead of relying on the core abstraction, DataFrames, and label alignment. People often look at Pandas and think it is just a programmatic spreadsheet or a standard two-dimensional NumPy array. It is not. A plain NumPy array relies on strict positional indexing. If you add two arrays, the item at position 0 adds to the item at position 0. If your data is missing a row, everything shifts and your calculations are silently corrupted. Pandas solves this exact problem by decoupling the data from its physical position in memory. It uses intrinsic data alignment, meaning it aligns data by labels, never by position. To understand this, look at the foundation of the library, the series. A series is a one-dimensional array that can hold any data type. Unlike a standard list, every item in a series is securely attached to a label. These labels collectively make up what Pandas calls the index. You can use integers as labels, but more often you use strings or timestamps. A data frame is simply a collection of these series objects acting as columns, all sharing the same index, sitting side by side. Here is the key insight. When you perform an operation in Pandas, the index dictates the behavior. Say you have two series of daily stock returns. Series A has data from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Series B has data for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you command Pandas to add these two series together, it ignores their physical order. It looks at the date labels. It finds Wednesday in Series A and adds it to Wednesday in Series B, even though Wednesday is the third item in the first dataset and the very first item in the second. This brings up the problem of the non-overlapping days. Monday exists in the first series, but not the second. Friday exists in the second, but not the first. Pandas does not crash, and it certainly does not guess a value. Instead, it creates a new index that is the union of all labels from both inputs. For any label that does not exist in both places, Pandas inserts a nan, meaning not a number. The operation completes successfully, and you can immediately see where your data is incomplete. You never have to write a loop to check if the dates match up. The alignment is automatic, built directly into the data structure itself. This same logic scales directly to DataFrames. A data frame aligns on both dimensions simultaneously. When you operate on two data frames, Pandas matches row label to row label and column name to column name. It aligns the entire structure perfectly before executing a single mathematical operation. Anything that does not overlap across both the rows and the columns gets marked as missing data. The true power of Pandas is not the math it performs, but the fact that the label always travels with the data, making positional mismatches structurally impossible. If you want to support the show, you can find us by searching for DevStories EU on Patreon. Thanks for listening, everyone. Happy coding.